Hello Lions, it's the end of week 3. And you know what's cool about the number 3? 3 is the smallest number we need to create a pattern. It's a principle captured neatly in the Latin phrase, omne trium perfectum. Everything that comes in threes is perfect. Third episode of Lions Roar, third week of school, third week of grades. I'm sure they're perfect. But even if they aren't, I know one thing that is, our show opened. Well, we're 3 weeks in. What have we learned? We've learned that online learning has its challenges. We've learned that modern technology is not perfect. And I've learned that during the day my neighborhood is really noisy. And I hope that you learn that you're stronger than you think you are, more focused than you thought you could be, and more driven to succeed than you ever imagined. That's 3 perfect realizations brought to you by distance learning. Perfectum.
Good afternoon, Lions. This is Mrs. Layana. Welcome to the Principal's Perspective. Today, I want to talk to you guys about what we're doing here on campus to prepare for the possibility of students to return to campus on the hybrid model sometime in the future. The first thing that I want to talk about is masks. Everybody must wear a mask once school starts and we're here in person. We wear masks now. I have one right here. I'm alone in my office and there's only like 2 or 3 people on campus. So anytime I leave this office, I have to wear a mask, and I do wear a mask. We will expect all students to wear a mask all day long. The first thing I want to discuss on my presentation here is where students are going to come into campus. This is a little bit different than what we've done in the past. All buses, all drop-offs, and all student parking is going to happen on the south side of campus. And the south side of campus is the part of campus that's nearest to Starbucks. So unlike in the past, students will park there, buses will drop off there, and other parents, guardians will drop their students off in the south side. And everybody's going to walk in through this gate that's pictured right here. And that's because we have a lot of setup there for screening. So it's important that we all come in, all students come in one area. You can also see, if you look closely at that picture, that we have some social distancing signs painted onto the ground there, so that as you're waiting to come into campus, you're spread far apart. Next, I want to talk about our screening. There's 2 ways that we're going to screen students to make sure that nobody's sick when they come to school. And the first is going to happen for you at home. You're going to answer a series of questions regarding your health, and you'll hit enter, and that information will be sent to school, showing us that you checked to make sure you didn't have a temperature or any of the COVID-19 symptoms before you came to school. And then once you get to school, we are going to additionally take your temperature. And we have 2 of these thermal temperature readers. This is the small one that's located in the front of the school for staff and visitors. But the one that you guys will use is over on that south gate, and it's much, much larger, so that it will allow us to get you in quicker. And once you pass the thermal reader and it says that you don't have a temperature, your temperature has to be below 100 degrees, you will receive one of these wristbands. And we're doing this now. So when I came to work today, I had my temperature read. I was below 100 degrees and I was given a wristband. Every day is a different color. And so we know that you've been properly screened when you're here on campus. Another thing that I wanted to share with you is our directional flow for movement on campus. We're all going to be moving in the same direction as we walk around, and there will be more training and information shared with you when it gets closer to when we actually will come back to school. But I wanted you to have an idea of what this looks like. We have painted arrows all around campus to support your understanding of what direction you're supposed to move. So here in this picture here, if you walk out of Miss Palencia's class, you know you need to move straight ahead. You can't go left. And the same when you're coming up these north stairs on this other picture, it shows you once you get to the classrooms, you need to make a right. And all of the movement is directed that way throughout your whole day, so that we're never crossing each other this way as we move through campus, to help reduce the spread of any infection. The next thing I wanted to share with you that we're doing right now, I already talked about social distancing a little bit, and this is just a close-up of when you're waiting in a line, like when you're coming in through the south gate. This is what those paintings look like on the ground, and they're all measured to be at least 6 feet apart. This is our cafeteria, so if you're waiting to get your food, you will be socially distanced there. And we'll have another cart on the other side of campus, which will also have the social distance placards on them. We're right now removing all the extra furniture out of all of the classrooms so that we have maximum space to spread apart in the classrooms. In addition, every classroom has one of these foot pedal sanitizing stations in there, and that allows you to use your foot to get the sanitizer on your hand and clean your hands that way without touching anything. And those are just some of the things that we have right now that we're preparing for the possible return of students to campus. There is a lot more that we can and will share as time passes and we get closer to possibly coming back to school. But I wanted to share a couple of the things that we're doing right now so you have some ideas of what it's going to look like if and when we do return to school. Okay, until next week, Lions, please stay safe. Keep calm and wash your hands. And as always, keep making good choices, focusing on your goals, and earning all your credit. I'll see you next week.
This day in history, August 28th. In 1963, more than 200,000 people listened as the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King delivered his I Have a Dream speech in front of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C.
When we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at
last. In 2005, New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin ordered everyone in the city to evacuate after Hurricane Katrina grew to a monster storm.
Katrina then came into the Gulf of Mexico where water temperatures have been record high, and it just grew very, very rapidly. I don't think we've ever seen a hurricane spin up so rapidly from a Category 1 to a Category 5.
In 2008, surrounded by an enormous crowd at Invesco Field in Denver, Colorado, Barack Obama accepted the Democratic presidential nomination.
It's time for us to change America, and that's why I'm running for president of the United States.
Finally, some good news. Orange County's numbers in relation to COVID-19 seem to be trending downward. In fact, Orange County was removed from the state's coronavirus watch list, which means the countdown to school reopening has begun. How long it will take and when we reopen is yet to be determined, but it looks like we'll be going back to in-person classes in the near future. When we do, things will look and feel different, like Miss Layana showed us. But I don't want you to feel nervous about going back to class. If there's one thing, one lesson that you can take away from your time distance learning, is the knowledge that you can succeed in school. Over these last few weeks, and indeed the last 3 months of last year, we've asked you, the student, to perform at a level of college students. We've asked you to be responsible for your time and workload, self-motivated, and to be your own best problem solver. And you did. At the end of the year, some of you will contemplate college, but maybe you're nervous about the rigors of a system that seems detached from the students, a system that doesn't hold your hands and expects the work to be done regardless of obstacles. Good news, you're already doing it. You've mastered the skills needed to succeed in the world of higher education. The top three: time management, study and research skills, and self-reliance. And thanks to distance learning, you've honed these 3 skills to perfection. And as we know, omni trium perfectum. Everything that comes in threes is perfect. Magnum opus. For all the good people here at Lions Roar, thanks for watching.
We are the Lions, oh, we like to move like that, is the time, this is the place where we roll.